when I see issues, I say that a lot of time on this show, that when I think I've seen it all, I see another shocker when it comes to relationship, when it comes to, you know, the relationship that exists between a man and a woman. Man, it's deep. It's deep. So whatever it is you are going through and you feel like, oh, your world is crumbling, your own is so serious, my brother, you need to listen to other people so you understand that you are just a learner. So there's no need to give up. There's no need to like saying, oh, your life is going to end. No, you just need to sit up and make it work. Work on it. If you work, like I usually say, as long as the two of you are ready to make it work, there is nothing like it's not going to work. It's going to work. The only problem you could have is if it's only one person that is trying to make it work. But as long as the two of you are ready to make it work, it's going to work. All right. So tonight, send BlackBerry broadcast if there's still anything like that. Do your WhatsApp broadcast. Go to Instagram, please share me, you know, let people listen. You can share on Instagram. Solomon, I could see you there. I'm live on Intimate Talk with Tolu on Instagram. You can share. And I am live on 99.3 Nigeria Info on Facebook. You can share. And of course, you can watch me live on Wazobia. All right, before I go to the topic of the night, let me give you my tips for the week. All right, my number one tip for the week says, if you drop an egg on the floor, cover it with salt. Like if you mistakenly drop your egg on the floor, cover it with salt and let it remain like that for a couple of minutes. You'll be able to easily clean the mess without, in fact, with your tissue paper, you can clean the mess. If you mistakenly drop your egg, instead of trying to look for mopping stick and all that, just cover it with salt for a few minutes. And then you can easily remove it with tissue paper. I think that will help you in your kitchen. And then my number two tip says, what you term infertility might be your inability to calculate your ovulation period. A lot of women that are listening to me are in that situation. You see, if I have to say this, God is so powerful. As in, you can have sex without getting pregnant if you know how to calculate your ovulation period. As in, I am not saying you shouldn't, go for family planning. That's very important. But if you can calculate this thing very well, the problem we have in this part of the world is a lot. So many people doesn't even know when they are safe and when they are not safe. You don't know when you are ovulating. You don't. The changes are happens in your body, in your system. You can't differentiate. As a woman, you should be able to know when things are changing. I remember saying this sometimes on this show, that if something is changing in my system in minutes, I could sense that, oh, did I drink something or did I eat something? We need to be conversant with our body as a woman. You need to understand the changes that occur every month in your body. So that is the point here. Is some of you that are complaining about infertility, if you have been having regular sex for 1 year and you have not been able to get pregnant, then you can be termed having an infertility issue or something. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, some of you, it might be as a result of your inability to calculate your ovulation. And I'm thinking maybe I should teach us how to calculate your ovulation tonight. Should I teach us tonight, or is it going to distract me? Okay. One of these days I'm going to be talking about it. Remind me, send me messages to remind me. I'll teach you ladies, a simple way. I know because you have your calendar, some of you are very confused about do it this way, calculate from 1st to 14, calculate. Some of you are confused about it. I'm going to teach you in a very simple way that you know when to have sex and when not to have sex if you don't want to get pregnant. All right. Okay, so those are my tips for tonight, and I hope you find them helpful. If you find them helpful, you can actually reach out to me. All right, so tonight I'm talking about an interesting topic, and I called it Interesting Facts About Men Every Woman Should Know. Interesting facts about men every woman should know. All right. Right. Some people sometimes feel like, this is Dr. Tolu, the way you talk, you know, you're always talking about, you're always siding the women, you know, you are biased about women and something like that. So people actually see me as a feminist. I don't get it. But I don't think you are right, you know. But the truth is, as much as I understand that women, in fact, we don't need to beg for it. I was reading an article online this week and I felt so bad about a practice that is going on in a part of Nigeria currently in 2018, where if you have a female daughter, I read it somewhere online, you have a female daughter, then there's a name they call it, then you want to borrow money, you go and drop your daughter, you know, to borrow money. Currently in Nigeria in 2018, things are happening, you know. So we kind of emphasize the fact that women are still being marginalized. The female folks are being marginalized in a lot of places. You know, when I read that caption, I mean, it's a small article, you know, I have to like go online and read about, you know, male and female in Nigeria. You know, I read a lot of things and I really I felt so worried, you know. I felt bad, really, that, I mean, I thought by now that women have really, but come on, we've not gone anywhere. The distance between us are still very far. And I just want to encourage, you know, every one of us that are listening to me, you know, don't look down on a woman. Whatever a man can do, I think a woman can do, if possible, better. I mean, there is a quote that says, if you want to get something done, you need to put a woman there. All right. So, but that's actually, by the way, as long as I believe in equal opportunity and a level playing field, you know, for male and female when it comes to opportunities in business, in corporate world, you know, in capacity, as long as I believe in that, I still understand that men and women are not the same. We can never be the same. When I say we are not the same, I'm not talking about your capacity or ability in your place of work. I'm not talking about that. I hope you understand that. But I just understand that as a man, as a woman, I don't want to be a man. I'm okay being a woman. And I think there's a very common quote that says that women who want to be a man, they don't understand whom they really are. They don't understand what they carry. Because if you know whom you are as a woman, you are powerful. That is why I don't understand why you want to be a man. Because I don't want to go into that. Let me not, let me not go into some. But the point is this. Our body system, the hormones, everything, we are not the same. The way we are wired biologically, we are wired differently. So I don't expect people to say man and woman should be the same. We are not the same. And that is not talking about equal opportunity. I hope you get that, all right? You know, really, I like to talk about the fact that women has what I call the power of influence and men has the power of authority. You know, influence is more powerful than authority. Maybe I should give you a very common joke that I think each and every one of us, maybe we've heard about it before in a gathering, and I think a church, and the pastor says it's women that control men. You know, all of you men here, is your wives that are controlling you. And everybody, you know, people were now murmuring, and the man said, okay, if your wife is not controlling you, raise up your hand. You know, funny enough, one of the men is not listening. He wasn't paying attention. So when the pastor said, raise your hand if your wife is not controlling, he didn't hear. But the wife just said, darling, raise your hand. And he just raised his hand. And the pastor was like, oh, so your wife is not the one controlling you. And he was like, I don't know. My wife was the one that said I should raise my hand. You know, so the point is the power of influence is more powerful than the authority. You see, allow the men to have the authority if you want to, but the power you carry as a woman is your softness. Your power is in your is in your softness. That feminine part of you, don't lose it for anything. Don't lose it to be macho. You want to be a macho woman, you don't need it, because you are more powerful even with your softness. All right, that's by the way. But the point is, men and women are not the same. That's the point. But I just want to talk about some spectacular, some interesting, or some of you might think they are funny points, facts about men, things you need to know about. If you are dealing with a man, maybe you can understand them better. Okay, so maybe by next week when I start talking about interesting facts about women, I think some of us, a lot of men will be interested in that, because men always believe that women are complicated beings. Nobody can understand a woman, because there's a very common quote that says, when you ask a woman, are you fine? If she says, yes, I'm fine, please ask again, because yes, I'm fine actually means I am not fine, and I need you to listen to me. All right? So the point is, you can call this amazing facts, you can call them interesting facts, but if you have a man in your life, if you are dealing with a man, and then you really want to understand them better, you might want to follow me on tonight's topic. I want to run through it and I want to conclude it. I have about 100 of them, but I just try to make it. So I'm going to be talking about just 20 interesting facts about men. Number one, men toilet aiming ability is net to 0. And putting toilet paper on the roll is not common sense. It's a superpower for the men. And to men, only men has this magical power. Ladies, funny enough, this might sound funny, right? I said some of these facts might be funny, Abby. I remember I used to have a couple. That came for counseling in my office. And at the point of coming, they were already separated. This was some years back. And their major issue was the man's hygiene. Zero hygiene. Whenever the man pee, the woman will always come back. And so let me just say this. So women, I know a lot of you that are listening to me, you are in that situation. As soon as he's peeing, you want to use the toilet, you have to get tissue paper and wipe again. So one very interesting fact or funny fact about men is that their toilet aiming ability is next to 0. And if you tell them to put the tissue paper back in the roll, that is like, they see like it's magic. They can't do it. They believe that women have superpower to be doing all that. So if you're a lady, you are listening to me tonight, you're always complaining, why? Because, as a woman, you want to sit on the toilet seat. And the man want to use it. I don't know where they get that logic from, that as a man, if you want to pee, you must stand up. Why can't you sit down? If you keep messing up the place, why can't you just sit down? Every time the woman wants to use, and most of the time you use the same toilet. And then you get there, you have to wipe again. You keep wiping. And funny enough, some of the pee will now drop on the floor. And if guys not taking the whole toilet, will start smelling. A lot of couples are battling with this. But if you are a woman, you are just listening to me tonight, just understand that men toilet aiming ability is next to 0. Okay? And for you guys that are listening to me tonight, you might need to understand that your wife is not finding this funny. And you might need to sit. Who says you must stand up? You might need to sit. All right? And then my number 2 fact says, even though men are better at controlling their emotions than women, when a man falls in love, it's usually more intense. Now, people believe that women are very emotional. It's the truth that women are more emotional than women. And this is because men have the capacity to control their emotions. But the fact is, when a man falls in love, it's actually more intense than a woman. And I'm going to prove this to you. Now, this is because of the higher level of testosterone in men. And this higher level of testosterone usually causes a higher level of aggression, competition, that is why you see, men are always, they want to always be men want to always be, they just want to always, how do I put this? You are good. That is why I'm going to come to that point. If you tell a man is not good in bed, just kill him. All right. This is because of the higher level of testosterone in men. Higher level of testosterone is more in men than it is in women. So because of this, they have higher level of aggression, competition, self-assertion, and self-reliance. And another thing is that I don't want to use some funny terms here, but let me just explain in a way you understand. The part of the brain that is responsible for emotion is bigger in men than in women. Funny enough, you'll be shocked that the part of the brain that controls emotion is actually bigger in men than in men. So this makes men to love more intensely. And because testosterone, we all know about testosterone, of course, you know, this makes men tends to love more intensely. That's why you see men want to protect their territory. We know about the lion story, and you know, men want to protect their territory. They want to get their babe and keep to themselves. They don't want to share. Okay, men, when they fall in love, even though they have the capacity to, you know, suppress or control their emotions, but when they fall in love, it is more intense. So ladies don't always feel like, I'm the only one that is always loving. Man doesn't know how to love. It's not true. If he's really in love, come on, it could be deeper than the way you do yours. All right. Number 3, men tend to have the capacity to live up to women's expectation. I just love this. You see, men has the capacity, you know, to tend to live up to women's expectation. You see, I use this a lot in what we call therapeutic intervention, you know, for my clients in therapy. I use this particular point. Now, what am I talking about? If you have a man that, I'm still coming to this point, but let me just use this as an example. You see that, you know, you say your man is good in bed. This man is very good, you know. You know, when he's making love, he knows that he's doing something. He could feel that you are alienating him. He could feel that you are enjoying it. He could feel like he's doing something, you know. The power will be coming more and more. Men tends to have that capacity to live up to their woman's expectation. So anytime you want to make love to him, you know, he already has it in his mind that you have seen him as a, you know, because it's not like you are just saying it. Your action, everything, every time he makes love to you, is telling him that he's good. That is what he's carrying in his head. You know, he will live up to that expectation. Somehow, psychologically for him or consciously for him, he will live up to that expectation. And if you are always trying to make him feel like he's not good, he doesn't know how to make love, anytime you want to make love to you as well, it will live up to that expectation. Let me give you an example. If you have a man who is not a cheater, or okay, let me use that, who is not a cheater, he doesn't cheat on you, but you are always, you know, on your toes. You are checking his phones. You are checking, where are you? When are you coming home? And the man is, I'm with my friend. Can I talk to one of your friends? And, you know, every time you are always, you know, following back to back. You want to know where he's sleeping. You don't want to know who he's talking to. You want to know his friends. You know what? The man knew already that you didn't trust him. And he's trying so hard, you know, to prove to you that you need to trust me. I'm not doing anything. And you keep, you know, distrusting him. After some time, he will start living up to that, your cheater's expectation. It will be the cheat that you are expecting. Men are like that. And even if he's a cheat, and it's vice versa now, he's a cheat. And, you know, it's the guy that, you know, that this guy, is coming home 11 p.m. And, for example, with a lipstick on his shirt, and there you welcome. He knows that, you know, when you, maybe his expectation was like when you walk in and he didn't know that the lipstick is there, that if you see the lipstick, you are going to scream, hey, where are you coming from? That's the normal reaction, right? And then you just saw the lipstick, I'm like, oh babe, now wow, see lipstick on your shirt. All these ladies in your office, they will just be all get married men anyhow, not knowing that, you know, not knowing that, you know, they could actually stay in their shirts. Oh, babe, but like, how was your day and how you doing, you know? And the man was like, even if that lipstick was from an hotel room, the man would know, like, did she just say that she think I'm not cheating? And then maybe when, you know, he's talking with his friend and other, you know, you planted it in his mind over time, that he could boldly tell you that my wife knows I can never cheat on her. you know, this thing will not happen in a day. It's actions that you take, you know, over and over and over. You start doing them in your action, in your attitude, in your talk, in your text messages, in the way you relate with him. At a point, it will start having it in his head that my wife trusts me. My wife know. He will start trying to live up to that your expectation. So for those of you, like I said, I've used this severally in therapeutic intervention, and it has worked. If you have a man that is cheating, you'll be fighting, you'll be calling him cheater, it's not working. Change your style. Start, you know, creating avenues for him to start believing that you trust him, even if you have to pretend, okay? By the time you start doing that, you just notice that the man says, my wife trusts me. My wife, he doesn't know my wife doesn't believe I can do this. My wife doesn't believe I can do this. After some time, he will start living up to that your expectation. All right? That's my number 3. Men tend to have the capacity to live up to their woman's expectation. All right? Number 4, men are not good at asking for direction. In fact, research shows that men waste thousands of gallons of fuel every year driving around while not asking for direction. You know, so men doesn't want to ask. You know, they are missing their way. A woman will like, let's just ask now. For a man, you know, there's something about a man that is always, I'm in charge. You know, so men are not good, you know, at asking for direction. So research shows that over in a year, men waste gallons of liters of fuel, you know, trying to drive around where they could have easily asked for direction. All right. And then number 5, in nearly every country in the world, men are more than twice as likely to commit suicide than women. Men are likely more to commit. So for those of you that say women are prone to depression, women are always the one committing suicide. In nearly every country in the world, men are more than twice as likely to commit suicide than women. In fact, in some countries such as Russia and Brazil, suicide rates among men are up to 6 times higher than those of women. So, I wonder why. So, forget it. These women are the ones that are depressed. How many times have you heard that women commit suicide? I mean, recently, the rate of suicide in Nigeria has really increased. But how many women? Check, you know. So in nearly every country in the world, men are more than twice as likely to call. I wonder why. I think it has to do with this masculinity thing, you know. You know, this man macho, you are not prone to make mistake, you are not prone, everything has to be in order. I think that is one of the reasons why men are prone to, you know, suicide, because people believe that as a man you must not cry. You know, talking about gender role, I mean, let me not go into that, but you know, there's this ability, this societal expectation that plays a whole lot of burden on the shoulder of men, making them to wanna, you know, live up to people's expectation and, you know, act as if they can do everything. I guess that's why. Okay, number 6, men may flirt around all day. Men may flirt around all day, but before going to bed, they just think about the woman they actually care about. So he might look at this one, he might touch this one, he might wink at this one, he might laugh at this one, but when you want to go to bed, he think about one woman in his mind that he really, really care about. He won't think about every other distraction. Okay. Number 7, using sex as a weapon can easily kill a man's affection for a woman. Now, if you treat sex like it's some kind of privilege, you know, that your guy should only get if he has been a good boy, or treat it like a reward rather than a romantic and intimate activity, the man won't look forward to it, and he might actually be vulnerable to alternatives. So if you use sex as a weapon, you can easily kill a man's affection, you know, for his woman. You know, he want to believe that you're enjoying him. you are enjoying him. You want to believe that he's doing something. You want to believe that he's doing something that you are capable of looking forward to. Now, if you now make love making, something like you pay me, your bedroom becomes a bedroom. You negotiate, pay me before you do. Where is my wrapper? Where is my iPhone 6 before you do? All right. So when you do it like that, it becomes, when you use sex as a weapon, it can easily kill a man's affection for a woman, because you start feeling like, so do I have to pay for everything? It's not like you're enjoying it. It's not like you really want to be with me. Okay. So women, please stop. I mean, a lot of women do this and you make it so obvious. Don't do it. Number 8, making negative and demeaning comments about his penis will lead to loss of his self-esteem, and it could eventually lead to total loss of erection. He might not get over it for the rest of his life. Making negative or demeaning comments about a man's penis could lead to 0 self-esteem, no erection, if possible. If care is not taken, it could lead to no erection at all. There's low erection and there is no erection. All right. So women, please. Funny enough, he might not even be able to get it out of his head for the rest of his life. So it's so sensitive. It's one interesting fact about men that I think every woman should know. If you say a negative comment, a demeaning comment, or a funny comment about his penis, he might never be able to get over the low self-esteem that has created. If at some time he will start looking for penis pumping, penis. So please, ladies, don't make negative comments about his manhood. It's killing for a man. You just cuckoo kill him, all right? Number 9, all right? It is easier for men to flow along when you say what you mean and not the other way around. Men are not good at reading your mind, okay? So if you want to talk, just say what you are trying to say. Men want, I think I have a point like that. Men want, what is your problem? This is your problem. What is the solution? Give me, okay. As soon as you talk about problem, the next thing the man is thinking about is what is the solution. All right. So it is easier for men to flow along when you say what you mean. Don't parabolate. Men don't understand. They don't need the details. They want you to say what you mean. So don't say yes when you mean no. Men are not good at processing what is at the back of your mind. They are not good at reading mind. Women could read facial expression, read your body language, but men are not good with that, all right? Okay. Number 11, if he likes you a lot, it will make time for you. If you are getting a lot of maybes and excuses, just move on. It might not be that into you. If a guy cares about you a lot, it will find time for you. Now, so because he's the president of Nigeria, he will not have time to. I mean, I remember I have a client like that because the guy is a commissioner or something, and then for 2-3 weeks he won't show up. No text message, no phone call, nothing. He would say he's in one rural area and he's trying to do one community development project. You know what? You know the kind of burden that creates in a woman's mind, especially when she's really in love. And this babe is really in love with this guy. This guy loves her, obviously, actually, or should I say, from the look of things, But you just blank out for 3 weeks, and you know what it means for a woman who is in love. She's thinking, I want to talk to him. I want to hear his voice. I want to see his face. I want him to tell me he loves me. I want him to ask me how my day has been. When a woman is in love, all those little things that I call sweet nothing counts a lot for women. But this guy will just go, blank out for 3 weeks. And then he will come back again after 3 weeks, come with gifts, come with everything, and move to family house. Everybody knows him. And, he's a good guy. And, he will have been, the lady is already devastated before, he comes back. And then he will pick it up again, build it again, cry this and pet and all that. It's it's so how will I put it? It's so it's frustrating. It's tasking. It's tasking when a woman is in love and is not getting, and she's not getting what she's expecting to get back, the emotional fulfillment. If she's not getting it from that relationship, it could be tasking. It could be tasking for a woman, you know. So if he's telling you that, oh, sorry, I'm busy, sorry, it's work, sorry, I mean, even if it's when he's in the toilet in the morning, as most people go to toilet in the morning, you know. If it's when he's using the toilet, just pick the phone, babe, good morning. It's going to be a busy 1 week. Even if it's just a busy 1 week. Or babe, good morning. I might not be able to talk to you for today, but love you, bye, you know. Just, or for the next 3 days, I'll be out of town. You are in my thought. 2 lines. And I mean, the guy will just blank out. And this lady will be waiting. When will he call? She will call and call, the number will not go through. When we need call, when we need send text message, you could be tasking. The truth is, if a guy really loves you, if a man, the way men are wired, if he truly cares about you, his mind will be with you. He will be the one that will want to talk to you. You won't hustle, you won't beg, you won't struggle to make him to talk to you. That is the fact about, and another interesting fact about men, all right? And then number 11, men would rather take a bullet than pick up a tampon at the grocery store. This is a funny one. Men would rather take a bullet than pick up a tampon at the grocery store. Tell him if he's going, babe, please help me to buy pad when you are coming. Just cuckoo kill me. So men would rather take a bullet. They don't want that, you know. That's why some of them, if they want to buy condom, you know, they stylishly, they can, you know, they will be forced to stylishly go and buy that. But if it's pad or tampon, no. You say, send me another thing. Number 12, when a man sees problem, the next thing in his mind is the solution. He's not interested in the details. Now, I think this is similar to my number 8, Abi. So if you don't want to discuss a solution with a man, do not talk about the problem. Because men are not interested in the details of the story. Meanwhile, for a woman, you know, this is one of the areas that men and women are very different. I just want to complete this topic tonight, and I'm going to do that. But let me give you this illustration. For example, a lady wants to describe something to the husband, and he was like, babe, do you remember that time that we traveled to Dubai? The husband will say, yes, I remember. Okay. Do you remember that store where I saw my friend, my secondary school mates now, Roslyn? Do you remember? The guy will like, okay, I remember. Hey, do you remember one pink shirt that I bought in that shop that day? The guy will like, okay. Like, do you remember one lady in my office now that I told you about? That lady that you saw the day you came to my office that was with my boss? That fair, tall lady, you know? The husband was like, okay, I remember. Do you remember I told you that anytime that anything that she sees me wearing, she would like to wear it? Do you know that she went to go and buy that same pink shirt? That shirt that I'm talking about, do you know she went to go and buy? That's the story. If a man wants to tell that same story, the man will like, do you know there's a guy in my office that likes, you know, copying me? Just one statement. Do you know there's a guy in my office that likes copying me? Or if it's a woman, she'll go to Dubai, travel to to Gombe, travel to you know. So now, for a man, forget all those corner distraction. If you have a problem, tell him, and the next thing he's thinking about is what is the solution. He's not interested in the little details, but those details for women can't, because she want to be sure you are paying attention to her. She want to be sure you are listening to her. It's one area that couples really need. This particular point I have to explain because it's one area that couples need to really understand themselves. All right, okay. And my number 14 says, forget asking a man what he's thinking. Men can think about nothing for hours. He could stay there for hours without thinking about anything. So stop asking him, forget it. So forget asking, what are you thinking? Babe, what are you thinking about? Babe, what? It could actually, the brain could actually be blank for hours. It's possible. All right? Okay, so my number 14 point says, men could actually dictate. They usually know when you fake orgasm. It is either he's lost in passion or he's carried away. Maybe he's closing his eyes. That's why he's not seen. But if he's opening his eyes and he's looking at you, he could sense it when you fake orgasm. So women, stop all the who's, hoes, has that you are making when you are not enjoying it. He knows when you are faking it, because you know when you enjoy love making, it's beyond the just when you are saying all that, if they are not deep, the man can easily notice, because it's beyond your facial expression, the way you touch him, the way you hold him, the way you look at him, the way you react. Everything will show if you are truly enjoying the love making. So if it's all about just you're shouting, just saying hoo-ha, men, don't think men are dumb. They actually know when you are faking it. All right? And then number 15, if something is wrong, better say. Because if you say nothing is wrong, a man will believe you. So if something is wrong with you, come on, say it. Because if you say nothing is wrong, it will believe. You know, that's why I get this a lot from my clients. You know, women, I think in this part of the world, we have been trained not to talk about certain issues, especially when it comes to sex. I remember somebody that was in a relationship they were married, you know, for like 5 years, and this lady could kiss. She's such a good kisser. But the husband is a bad kisser. He doesn't know how to kiss, you know. And it was until after 5 years when they came to my office that the woman said, actually, why I don't enjoy sex is because I love to be kissed before making love, and he doesn't know how to kiss. And I was like, why don't you tell him? Why are you denying yourself for 5 good years? And then you keep telling the man is like, are you cool? I say, I am fine. Are you good? I'm good. You know, I get this a lot of time from women, you know, making faces, you know, making, you know, doing all those funny mouths. And the man is not even seeing your face. The man is not looking at you when you are turning your face, you are doing your mouth. The man is not seeing. You know, so if you have a problem, say it. Men are not good at knowing that, you know, men are not doing good at not believing what you say. If you ask your babe, are you okay? And you say you are okay, okay. It believes you are okay. So if you are not okay, better say. Number 16, men do not like it when you talk about your ex. It's a very common fact I expect every woman to know. Men don't like it when you talk about your ex. Spare him the details. Fine, you have had a boyfriend before you met him. Fine. But spare him the details. Spare him how he used to kiss you, how he used to touch you. Spare him all those details. Men want to own, and they don't want competition. So it's better he doesn't even know that somebody that's been there before. So spare him the details. All right? Okay? Making his woman scream in ecstasy is a turn off for men any day. It boosts his ego. You see, men feel extremely powerful when they make their partners orgasm. They feel so powerful. And the more a man can make a woman orgasm, the more he will be proud of himself. I hope you can understand that. It does a lot to a man's ego. Making a woman to enjoy sex makes a man feel powerful. He just feel like he's an almighty because I can make her scream. I can make her. It's a very important fact that every woman should know. Men likes women. Men making his woman scream in ecstasy is a turn on for men any day. It boosts his ego. It makes him feel so powerful. All right, I think I've given you about 17 points. I have 3 more points, and after that, I will be answering your questions, okay? I will always love you. I will always love you. forget, it's the Intimate Talk with Dr. Tolu, your number one love show. And we're still talking about interesting facts about men, things you need to know to understand men better, you know, to understand the male folk. Next week, I will be talking about interesting facts about women. And of course, you could still watch me live on Wazobia Max, channel 259, DSTV. And of course, you could, wherever you are, you have a friend, you want them to tune in and watch or listen to this program, they could listen live on Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook. They should just go to Facebook, search for Nigeria Info 99.3. They could listen. And of course, you could follow me on Instagram. And if you are following me on Instagram, you don't want to follow me alone. You want to share this video. You want to tell your friends. You want to say, guys, you need to join this video. It's happening live here. Thank you, Ola, dear Chris, Ayuba, Afor. Thank you guys for joining me. Of course, you can still join me on Intimate Talk with Tolu on Instagram. You can still join me live. We're still talking interesting facts about men. I've given you 17. I want to do the 3. Let me run through it, okay? Okay, research shows that men and women, in fact, I have one funny diagram like that about men and women brain. A very funny one that I like to use whenever, you know, there's this program I usually have, Art of Love Making, where I teach people how to make love. You know, I actually teach people how to make love. All right. Let's go into that anyway, but you know, there's this diagram I usually use about men and women brain, but just forget that, you know. But men and women brain are different. Scientists believe that men can only concentrate on one task at a time, you know. So if he's having sex, his mind is in that sex. That's why it's one of the reasons why it's difficult for women to reach orgasm, because he's making love to her. She's making love to her husband. She's thinking about school fees. She's thinking about dinner. She's thinking about this. There's no way. You know, one of the just find out one of the reasons why it's difficult for women to reach orgasm. For a man, every other thing is zero at that point. He's concentrating. But for a woman, she's still there. She's still there. She's still there. And until you can concentrate, you might not really be able to enjoy sex to the fullest. All right, so the point is, men want to just concentrate on one thing at a time, but for a woman, she could multitask. The brain could be thinking about market, be thinking about this, be thinking about 10 things at the same time. All right, and then my number 19 says, whether you agree with me or not, men likes women who are all cute and ladylike in the streets, then becomes a freak in the bedroom, whether you agree with me or not. Men love women that are cute. Everybody is looking at them when they are walking on the street or when they are outside. People are like, oh, beautiful, cute, quiet, fine, you know, classy lady. Men like women like that. But this same lady, when it gets to the bedroom, she becomes a freak. Men love that kind of women who can act, you know, put everything not together and be ladylike, all cute, all refined, all refreshed when she's outside. But when she gets to the bedroom, she becomes, you know, the real babe, you know, give it to the man anyhow. Men love that kind of a woman. When she comes out, you think, oh, this girl doesn't know anything. This lady, very cute, very. Men love that kind of women a lot. Men love. They don't like women. See, I think this will help you. All you ladies that after marriage, you are still doing your Virgin Mary. After marriage, you know, outside you are Virgin Mary. Inside with your husband, you are still Virgin Mary. Men, you are not impressing him by telling him that I don't know how to do it. So I've never done it before. You're not impressing him. Come on, loosen up. You are the lady, you know, cute, you know, harmless and spotless lady in the street. But when you get to the bedroom, you become a freak for your husband. Men love that kind of woman. And then finally, men don't feel the urge to get married as quickly as women do. This is a very funny one. I'm going to read it for you. I just like it. It's funny, and I made it my number 20. Men don't feel the urge to get married as quickly as women do because their clothes All button and zip are in the front. You know, men button, men, the trouser zip is in the front, the buttons are in the front, everything. But women's dresses, usually button and zip is in the back. So, women need men emotionally and sexually, but also need men to help them get dressed up. One of the reasons why men don't feel the urge to get married, you know, it's just a funny tip. I hope you understand that, all right? Okay, so those are my interesting facts about men. I just hope you find them funny, interesting, amazing. Wow. I mean, you've been able to learn one or two things from tonight's show, okay? All right, Emmy Wumi, tell them the truth. Use hi. Paul. All right, thank you guys for joining me. And of course, I will be taking your questions, comments, opinion, whatever you want to ask me. If it's about sex, if it's about relationship, if it's about marriage, there's nowhere to get a professional answers to all your questions than right here. All right? Join me after this short break. But I don't have time now. But you can reach me on 012771993, 012772993, and 012773993. Let's see if I can take one or two calls before the end of the show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dr. Tulu.
Yes, sir.
I have a problem with my wife. I'm married about 15 years now.
Okay.
So our problem is whenever we want to make love, she likes to be on top of me.
Okay.
I continue to wonder, say, what is the reason behind this? She says that it's her own way. I said, I don't know, but I'm not comfortable with it.
Do you enjoy it?
I do, but to an extent.
Okay, so why aren't you comfortable with it?
I have to inform it that we have to because you do this, you come always.
Okay. Let me try and answer this question. Okay, now, women, for a woman to reach orgasm, I've talked about all this. I think, okay, for a woman to reach orgasm, especially when we talked about orgasm for like 2 weeks. When we talk about vaginal orgasm, we said it's actually more explosive, it's more intense. Now, for a woman to get a vaginal orgasm, you need to touch the G-spot. And for you to touch the G-spot, it's not something that is very easy for most men. Most men, in fact, about 80% of men are not able to do this. Now, and touching a G-spot means that there is a certain position. So that means she's enjoying that position. Maybe that position, most of the time, woman on top is one. I'm going to put off this call because of the feedback, so you can listen to me without your telephone, okay? Woman on top is one of the position where a man can actually hit the G-spot very easily. So that could be the reason. Maybe she's enjoying it. She enjoys it more. And there are positions. Every woman should actually understand a position that suits them. There's a position that when you are in that position, you enjoy sex to the fullest. It's very explosive. So probably she has gotten that, and that's why she's always wanting it. Now, could be the reason. But the second part of this is, it shouldn't now be an habit. Because it is not like sex is not always, it should not always be orgasm based. You know, so sometimes you also shift base and consider the other party. So I've said that on this show before. A man that knows that this is the position I like, and it's always like it has to be this position. It shouldn't be. If that is the position she's enjoying, she might actually want to be sticking to that position. If you are enjoying it as well, I don't think you should complain. But if you are not enjoying it, that is the only reason why you should complain. You understand? So if you are enjoying it, it shouldn't be a problem. But you should be. I'm just trying to tell you why I think she might like that. But the two of you should also be flexible about love-making styles. You should change styles. It shouldn't be just one position all the time. All right? Anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. That is, and to those of you that have been able to join me on Instagram, I really want to say thank you so much. And of course, this is all I will be able to take on tonight's episode of Intimate Talk with Dr. Tolu. We'll be talking about interesting facts about men. And before I go, I'm going to give you my food for thought for tonight. My food for thought for tonight. If there is one thing I have learned over the years about men, it is the fact that feelings of powerlessness do not usually bring forth their finest qualities. Thank you for joining me tonight.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.